What's up, YouTube? My name is Sage. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the fairy race. This was recently reprinted in the Monsters of the Multiverse, and I'm just going down the list. I'm going to take a deep dive look into each of these races, and so next up is fairy. Let's jump into it. The Feywild is home to many fantastic peoples, including fairies. Fairies are a wee folk, but not nearly as much so as their pixie and sprite friends. The first fairies spoke Elvish, Goblin, or Sylvan, and encounters with human visitors prompted many of them to learn Common as well. Infused with the magic of the Feywild, most fairies look like small elves with insectile wings, but each fairy has a special physical characteristic that sets the fairy apart. For your fairy, roll in the Fey characteristics table or choose an option from it. You're also free to come up with your own characteristic if none of the suggestions below fit your character. These characteristics are: your wings are like those of a bird, you have shimmering multicolored skin, you have exceptionally large ears, a glittering mist constantly surrounds you, you have a small spectral horn on your forehead like a little unicorn horn, your legs are insectile, you smell like fresh brownies, a noticeable harmless chill surrounds you. It's just fun little flavor things. Sometimes these flavor pop-outs really stick me. This one didn't in this case, but they're kind of neat. Moving into our traits, we are a Fey. We are small. We have a walking speed of 30 feet. We know the Druid craft cantrip. Starting at 3rd level, you can cast the Fairy Fire spell with this trait. Starting at 5th level, you can also cast the Enlarge/Reduce spell with this trait. Once you cast Fairy Fire or Enlarge/Reduce with this trait, you can't cast that spell with it again until you finish a long rest. You can also cast either of those spells using any spell slots you have of the appropriate level. Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma is your spellcasting ability for these spells, and you choose which one when you first select the race. We also come with Flight. Because of your wings, you have a flying speed equal to your walking speed. You can't use this flying speed if you're wearing medium or heavy armor. So let's break down which classes the Fae really stands out to me that it would be fantastic for. Now, right off the bat, we cannot wear medium or heavy armor. So classes that are going to be relying on that are instantly off the table. You get what I'm saying. Optimally speaking, they're instantly off the table. Of course, you could play whatever character you want, whatever way you want, including being a paladin fairy that can't fly. Totally fine. But with that being said, we're going to talk about optimization. We want to be a light armor or no armor character. We also come with magic. The thing about innate magic is if we have spell slots, we can take advantage of those spells over and over again. And Fairy Fire is one of those spells that we wouldn't mind taking advantage of over and over again. So warlocks, wizards, sorcerers, they don't get Fairy Fire. They don't have armor to speak of. And so the fairy is really fitting a niche for those full casters. As far as our other casters, they're either wearing armor, artificer, ranger, the paladin, the cleric, or they already have Fairy Fire on their spell list, and so we're not really getting a big advantage out of that, like the druid. The standout to me is wizard, sorcerer, warlock. I feel like fairies fit a very powerful niche for those characters. Now they have flight, now they have some extra spells. Very, very good. Now, Enlarge/Reduce and Fairy Fire are an interesting combination because the classes that don't have Fairy Fire do have Enlarge/Reduce for the most part. Now, the exception to that is Warlock. So Warlocks are put up even a little bit further than Wizards and Sorcerers, just a little bit, that they also benefit from Enlarge/Reduce. Whereas Wizards and Sorcerers already had it, but now we have an extra spell slot to use, and that's all great and good. So all of those are still top tiers. Now, all this being said, you can still get a lot of benefit out of just flight. Like a rogue, for example. Light armor still gets flight, isn't using these spells to the fullest, as you know, every single day you can cast it multiple times, but sometimes you don't need to. Maybe all you need Enlarge/Reduce for is to make yourself smaller, to make your infiltration easier. You're already small, so you're gonna be tiny. So that's gonna help with infiltration a lot. You might look like a little bug guy. So yeah, there's a lot of flexibility here, but there are restrictions as well. You're not gonna see many paladin fairies, despite what I said at the beginning. They just don't fit very well. And I think paladins probably fit the least well. You might get away with some archer-based fighters, but fighters aren't gonna fit well. Any cleric, you know, clerics want their heavy or medium armor. Sure, you could do a light armor variant, but if you have the option to take these really good armors, probably want to. You can take a winged tiefling and still get your medium armor advantage and still get flight, for example. I think you're going to get a lot more out of the race if, you know, you just put it where it naturally fits, like a puzzle piece. All right, so that is my initial take on the fairy. If you had disagreed with anything, I want to hear about it. How would you use your fairy? Let me know in the comments down below. We are D&D Daily. We release new D&D content every single day besides Sundays now. So if you love D&D, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.